Hey, what's going on, my friends? It's Dave Sharpe. Welcome to Wake Up Legendary. And you guessed it, we have yet another amazing guest this morning. We have a gentleman, fitness guy, and he is going to share his experience with building his online business with hope, with excitement, one small win at a time. And I love these stories because he is. Going to really give you the perspective of, not all success stories happen overnight. Actually, none of them do. And most of the time, you never get a chance to be able to see chapter one, chapter two. But we're gonna, we caught him at the beginning, and we're gonna discuss what it's been like here for him to learn and to launch and get things off the ground, find his voice and message here online, and begin to build his business and find his audience. So with that being said, Jimmy K, welcome to the show, brother.
What's going on, everyone? How's it going?
I'm doing fantastic. I just had to
That's
clear
good.
my throat there. Didn't want to burp into the microphone.
Or sneeze.
I sneeze and blow my nose right on the show here. I mean, where else am I going to go?
Right.
Well, welcome to the show, man. You're calling in from where?
Omaha, Nebraska.
Man, home of the
Right
Oracle.
smack dab in the middle.
Home of the Oracle.
Right.
You ever drive down there and drive by Warren Buffett's house?
Yes, I have a couple times.
The Oracle
And
of Omaha.
years ago, I saw him speak in college, and usually when that happens, he takes everyone out to eat at his favorite steak place and stuff. So I've had my fair share of getting to hear some talks from the guy. So
yeah, and they're not like super exciting, right? I mean, he's a very practical guy, right? He's one of the most boring investors, but yet he is, when I say that, I mean he's not constantly filling filling you up with hype or with he's just very practical. He stays in what he calls his circle of competency, investing in things that he understands, that he knows, sticking with things long term, buying things based on management and leadership and people, and not just trends. Very interesting guy, and very, very cool that you've had those experiences. So what led you to wanting to start an online business?
Well, it started from my wife, and she caught Chelsea Omi, #winter. So shout out to her. So I actually started with my wife, and she caught her video on Instagram, and her story lined up is actually almost identical to ours. I'm a working man, wife's at home, we have 3 kids, and probably a subtle difference. My wife's now, thank goodness, after almost 3 years recovering from a crazy postpartum, but that's another story and another day. But so, and she saw her, and she's just like, hey, you should do this. And at the state I was in, and if you want to go ahead and do it, I've seen you do it. Just take the hat, throw it down, do your signature move. Yep. That was it. That's all the things going on, from life to almost hitting 40 in July. I'm just like, I'm just going to dive in. I'm probably not doing the smart things by praying about it or invest, financially wise or whatnot, but I'm just going to dive in because I can't live in like this type of state anymore. And so I just dove in. And what's cool about, and I've done network marketing stuff too, just hearing your story too, Dave, with like multi-level and all that. But this one was really different because I was too excited and just too determined to do it. But I love how you guys came off the cusp verbally and visually, like, hey, this is not a get rich quick scheme. This is going to take time. You actually have a little work to do. I've never seen that presented before, and stuff and how you present, doing the, the hook, the providing the value, and then the call to action. So it's really crafty in a very good way and very humbling, because there's a lot of talent out there that can use this platform. And just kind of a little bit about myself, just being born, raised in Omaha, my probably core things that I love to do is, like, I'm a graphic designer, artist type background, creative per se.
Mm.
and also a musician. I am a drummer. That was my music instrument of choice that I really exceeded in. And then you're probably asking, well, you're asking graphic. Where'd the fitness come in? Well, the fitness came in when I've been working out for a long time since I was in college. My wife and I have been on this health journey of nourishing ways of eating, just replenishing our bodies of wholesome foods.
Yeah.
And it still stems off from her postpartum journey, which ties into that. And being also not only a husband but a father of three. Like I said, I have three children under
Mm.
6, a boy and 2 girls.
Mm-hmm.
And so when I started your guys's program of getting the information how to do it, I was just trying to think of niches. And the only thing I can think of that I was doing every day that I found enjoyable, that I know a lot of kind of really honing in on the niche, is like men of late, mid 30s, 40s, close to my age, or maybe a little bit older,
Mm.
that are either single or have kids, married, to kind of align them to their health journey, to get in the shape that they desire to be in, to eat the right things, to not only just physically but also mentally be there and spiritually be there. I'm an advocate, I could say, ambassador of Jesus Christ. And so I like to say I'm like just leading by his example. And so I want to imbue that with men out there, and I think that's important. So that was the niche I chose and how to get in your guys' program.
Yeah, nice, man. Nice. Well, that makes a lot of sense, and I love to see people, finding or integrating their life experience and or expertise into this. A lot
Mhm.
of times it's hard to make that connection, but when you do, it's like, yeah, okay, I can see this is something that I can talk about.
Mhm.
This is something that whether you stay with that forever or not,
Mhm.
that's fine. You can change it up, you can switch it
Yep.
up. You don't, but at least you can um, get on your feet, launch, and feel what
Mhm.
it's like to get started.
Yep.
Um, what uh, what what has that experience been like? Take us through the learning and the launching phase, kind of both
Okay.
of those. What were those two phases like for you? What was exciting? What kept you going? What were some of the challenges or limiting beliefs that you may have had to
Okay.
overcome through those stages?
Yeah. So I caught you guys, I signed up end of November last year. And so I kind of took kind of the month of December to not only just kind of get things set up, with the pages and the landing pages and all that, which was good. But I also, since I was doing the fitness niche, I just started making content of certain workouts I've been doing,
Mm.
just to already have them at the back end from whenever I was ready to launch, which was in January, where I just started posting these things. And with how that's been working, has been great. Just been taking it as best I can, but staying consistent with it as best I can as well. And not, I'll do it Monday and then Thursday, and then 2 weeks later come back and do it again. I've always been trying to find at least now in this fast forward a consistency of what can I provide value for the audience out in the social media that I can post today.
Mhm.
And so at least that's in there. But as it started, not so much limiting beliefs. Me, I was a little kind of uncomfortable because I'm always used to just going to gym, doing my own thing. But now
Yeah.
looks like I'm videotaping myself. But that was an easy thing to go over. I'm like, and now it's normal. But now in my journey, I'm starting to pivot and try to adjust and learn, because and I've seen it too, like they get like 50,000 views within 2 months or whatnot. And I know there's certain things that I'm still working on that I'm kind of doing that I know I'll eventually get there. So I'm just taking it bit by bit, piece by piece, and then experimenting.
Mhm.
And so I finally, and probably the highest perks of that pivot, I shared a video not too long ago of just like a tip of conditioning. And that video hit over 1,000 views finally. Like, it's like, oh, wow. Like, I think you've shared that too. Just when you keep learning, it's a constant learning experience. And when you see that, then you'll know, oh, that's what my audience wants to find more of. I'll keep producing more of that. And then you'll see stuff that doesn't work well. I'm like, okay, maybe I'll do this on another side thing or sprinkle it in somewhere or whatnot. So,
Yeah.
and
That That's it, man. You find something that works. It's brace yourself. Do more of that.
Yep.
It's not. I think sometimes we overthink it, or we'll do something that works and then we'll immediately go and try something else. And it's like, yeah, if you post 30, 40 videos, 50 videos, you're going to get an idea of what you're going to get. A few videos that stand out over the others, and your audience will tell you. The marketplace is very honest. They're more honest than a coach. They're more honest than a spouse. They're more honest than a friend, because they're going to spend their money. They're going to vote with their time and their wallet. And they're going to show you what works, and you can do more of those things. You specifically said, I gave specific conditioning tips. I wonder if it was the way that you delivered it. I wonder if it was the specific topic. There's several questions to ask about that particular video that may shed some light on the format, the delivery, or the topic of what the audience, your audience might like watching most.
Yeah, it's cool. And I think what kept me going still, and I'm going to still keep going, is are you familiar with Casey Neistat?
Yeah, the videographer from New York City.
I think, well,
you kind of look like him a little bit, man. You're more handsome than he is, but I mean, backwards hat, kind of.
He would say that too, probably.
Yeah.
I caught him just at some weird, like, who is this guy just rolling around on a one wheel and making 1 million views each time? Like, what's he doing? Yeah. This was years ago, and that's what caught me, and it was just interesting how he was doing it, and that's why. And just to encourage people that's watching, like, he was raw. He's just himself. Yeah, just be yourself. And there was one video I caught of him, like, reading like a Q&A type vibe, and someone said, we all have this in our minds. I mean, it's stuck in my mind too, but what he said just totally overcomes it. Because you get this question like, well, everyone else is doing it, so you kind of have that sense like it's like a oversaturated thing, and it's like, oh, it's going to be more difficult for me to be noticed. But he said something that was so profound. He goes, but no one can do it like you.
Yeah, nobody, baby.
Yep. And just keep posting.
Yeah,
just keep posting. Like, you won't be successful unless you quit.
And you yeah, exactly. I get what you're saying there. So, and just like my thing, right? It's like nobody can do it like you. Well, you mentioned the hat throw. It's like, hello. It's like that. Those are little things too that you can do. Maybe I'll go backwards hat here.
There you go.
Yeah, hello. There's little things that also I think are important to exclaim, to, you turn up the volume on your personality if you can, 10, 20% on video, more if you can stomach it, because, the majority of people who are creating content will tell you that they don't talk to their friends and family the same way that they talk into the camera. Like I've never thrown my hat like talking to like my kids or my friends. Right. It's just not like a thing that I'm doing. I'm not like, oh my God, go to your room. It's just, they probably don't even know that I do it. It's just like I'm down here in my bat cave,
Hilarious.
But it's like, it's a thing that I do on camera, on the internet, to sort of, add 10 or 20% of spice of personality to my videos. Casey would probably be true with him as well. The other thing that I could say is that, he really started posting videos back 10 years ago and started kind of the daily vlog concept. Like that was one, he was the pioneer kind of that, of like filming your day. Now that took an extraordinary amount of editing and also capturing the content, but there's something to take away from that. It's like, what can I do that's different? Right? What can I do that's different? Because the real secret that's going to make you stand out is not going on to TikTok or Instagram and saying, oh, what's everybody else doing? Let me copy them. that actually sometimes gets you in trouble or just
Mhm.
makes you blend in. Instead, look at what people are doing and do something different.
Mhm.
Do something different.
Yep.
Like for when we started this show, and to my knowledge to this day, there's still not a CEO of a company that's selling education and courses and doing events and have a legitimate business
Mhm.
who's sitting down with clients 5 days a week in a completely, I mean, you can tell everybody we didn't say dilly dally behind there was
Right.
no prep. You know what I mean? That
Mhm.
like you could come out here and be like, dude, you're an idiot, and I just want to come on to say that, right? I mean,
Yep.
there's risk here. It's live, it's edgy,
Mhm.
there's no edits, so you get it real raw, uncut.
Mhm.
That's different. It's kind of still different, right?
Yep.
But my point here is going back to your Casey example. I love that you brought that up, because he's a real pioneer in marketing and content creation. What can you do that's different? Like there's a lot of people, and I even asked, pose this to you for food for thought. It's like
Yeah.
there are a lot of people who are creating fitness content,
Mhm.
same way that there's a lot of people who are creating make money online content.
Yep.
There's a lot of people who are creating marriage content, divorce content, child care, unschooling,
Mhm.
homeschooling, Montessori schooling. How can you just do something in your delivery, your intro, your outro, the way you film it, something that's just different,
Mhm.
right? And only
Yep.
you can come up with that. And it's worth testing crazy stuff until you find something that people are like, hey, you're the hat throw guy, or you're the
Yep.
right. What
Mhm.
comes up for
Yep.
you as I talk a little bit about like that kind of finding and
Yeah.
testing and doing something like different?
Sure. I'm still kind of working on that because kind of started out with just not talking a whole lot and just kind of like doing moves and pointing right
Yeah.
now. And I know I'm going to start developing a more. That's the next hump I'm going to get over and start talking more.
Yeah.
And I know I have a YouTube page. Well, it's not heavily right now. And I came across like a post of somewhere of how they schedule this stuff. And I think how they laid it out, it might work better for me. And so eventually, once I get over that hump, I have a few goals right now that I'm going to get over. And then once I get those done, then I'm going to start doing stuff on YouTube. But to your point of finding my specific, uniqueness of myself, that goes what you said, just experimenting. And there's two things that brought up in my mind. One was Pablo Picasso. He says this quote. It's going to kind of sound weird when you hear it, but this is how I perceive it. He says, and you said it too, good artists copy, which you said, yeah, we can just go look at any other dude and copy him, but great artists steal. Now, not in the literal term. I think he's being metaphorical because Picasso, he just basically took probably inspirations. We all have some type of inspiration of some sort.
Yeah.
And we'll say there would be three inspires that you have. And then when you combine that and form it into your own thing, you get
Totally.
in Picasso's thing, cubism.
Yeah.
And that's what he's known for. And there's another artist that I've seen that has a very Dali-esque, and he's a modern dude, Vladimir Kush. And when you look at his stuff, it looks like Dali, but it's Vladimir Kush. So there's always some element of something that you're going to draw from someone else, but it's that one uniqueness, like the hat throw, or my catchphrase is "Let's grow" rather than "Let's go." Let's grow.
Yeah.
Let's grow, and
Oh yeah.
and here too. And so, by doing that, you will develop your own voice into
Yeah.
the audience, and so it's just a lot of like experimenting and stuff. And so
Yeah.
that's what will make you stand out.
For sure, man. And I know there is always going to be inspiration. There is
Mhm.
always going to be, there is doing something different. Absolutely, in my mind, doesn't mean have an original thought and come up with something that's never been done before. It's absolutely find inspiration, combine a couple of things that you've seen out there. One of the things that I did that was really, I think, smart at the beginning was I looked at different niches to bring inspiration into the affiliate marketing, make money online, wealth niche. And what I did, instead of looking at other people who were in this niche, who the marketplace was already seeing, I would look out into the dating niche. That back in my beginning times, back in my day, the pickup dating niche was, I was reading a book like from this guy, not reading a book. I was in a coaching program that had this guy on who wrote the book, The Game. And it's just it sounds weird. It sounds disturbing, but this guy, Neil Strauss, I think is his name, wrote this book called The Game. And it's all about like the game, picking up chicks. Right. And there's this whole underground society. Like but you gotta understand, man, whether the crap worked or not, I don't know. I wasn't a fan of the actual pickup strategies. The copywriting and the marketers in this niche were unbelievable. Some of the best that have ever done it. And it's a hot market because it's in that relationship niche. And, when I say health, wealth, and relationships are the three hottest niches, it doesn't always mean that, how to have a healthy marriage. I mean, it could be how to have an affair. It could be how to pick up dudes or chicks. It could be how to get your ex back. Right. There's a whole lot of sub niches. Now, certainly it could be how to have a healthy marriage, how to have a healthy relationship, right. I mean, those are all parts of it, but I'm just saying the rabbit hole goes very deep.
Yeah.
And most of the time what people are buying, and you got to think about this. It's like, sometimes the hottest niches are the not the most holy niches. I mean, porn sites in the world are some of the most popular traffic sites in the world for a reason, because there's lonely guys who don't have a connection, who can't find love or even find a physical partner, and they're alone by themselves. Well, those same guys would love to, and if those are some of the most traffic sites in the world, those same guys would love to learn how to pick up an actual woman. So this is where that niche was birthed out of, right? Yep. And so a lot of marketers kind of flooded into that niche back in the 90s and early 2000s. This coaching program that I was in was highlighting and interviewing some of these marketers. And I was blown away by the skill, by the copywriting, by the sales pages in this particular niche. You can find a niche that has really compelling marketing in it and transfer that over to whatever niche that you're in. Yep. And most likely you're going to get things from that different niche to bring into your niche. For sure. That the fitness people have never seen before, or an approach, or a style of video. People in different niches, marketers in different niches, oftentimes do it differently. So my one huge nugget for everybody this morning is stop looking for inspiration in the same pool that you swim in, because then you just actually look like you're copying. Take Picasso's advice, go to other verticals, steal from far away lands, right? Where you're not going to be recognized when you bring it back. And business is war. So I'm just giving people tips that will really work, and things that I've done. Bring them back in to your niche and try things that people haven't seen but are being done in a different niche, and you'll be blown away. And it's very easy to do. All you do is you go to Instagram, you go to TikTok, you start searching other things, right? Go for a couple of weeks and look at dating. Start typing in. I'm just saying, it doesn't matter. This is called market research. Type in dating. Type in pick up girls. Even if you're a chick, look at some of this stuff. There's also guys and gals who teach women how to get men. So this is one of the hottest niches, right? There's also tons of other niches that you could look at. I'm just giving you the example of one that I looked at. Does this resonate with you in terms of the don't copy but steal?
Yep.
And kind of, that's certainly what came up for
Mm-hmm.
me when you said that.
Yeah, it totally does. You have to go into places that you don't think you'd normally go into. It just made me think of how, and with talking about dating and talking to girls or whatnot, we can kind of line this up with this niche that you're just talking about. When you go do things that you don't normally do, you'll be surprised when you do that experience that it's something of like almost ammunition behind your belt that you may come across some chick that you're digging, that they may say something that you're like, oh, you know what happened was there was like some movie being filmed in a town outside south of here, and I was trying to get friends, hey, you want to be an extra with me, and no one was able to go, so I went by myself to this show and just became an extra in Plattsmouth, Nebraska, a small town. And then so I did that, and then years ago when I was talking to my wife, when we were meeting, we were asking what things do we like to do. And when I was in college, I was in the graphic design. I was also into like video editing and wanting to kind of get in the movie industry in a different back end, as you per se, like with broadcasting, but not be a news guy. And so I told her I was into that. And I think we were talking movies, and I told her I was in this movie. My recent one was that one in Plattsmouth. And she goes, oh my gosh, my brother was in the sequel of that. And then we just started talking more. So
And then you had a
to
wife.
your point, yeah. So to your point, when you go do other things and explore other niches that are not your niche,
Yeah.
you're gonna have something to bring back that is gonna bring you into something else that you never thought it would happen. And so like it's not wasted. If you I'm gonna go my first golf tournament, but you might learn something in golf that might apply to something that no one's ever seen in your niche that you took from. How'd you come up with that? Oh, I went to a golf outing.
Marketing is everywhere, man. And now there's it's, I feel like people are so lazy that
Mhm.
it's easy to get ahead if you can be creative, right? Because everybody does the same thing, right? When you start out, you look around and you're just like a baby, man. Other people are walking, you're calling, you go, well, I want to do that, right? So you just keep trying to walk.
Yep.
We do the same thing when we come into the online marketing space. Other people, we want to have a successful business. So we look around at other people out in our niche, and we just start doing what they're doing and have no idea why we're doing it. We get frustrated when it doesn't work, instead of, do that for a period of time. If that's what you got to do to get off the ground, whatever, have somebody feed you your lines, have somebody feed you your topics, headlines, etc. But very quickly, you got to get up out of that pool and go look into another pool of people and start getting marketing ideas from different places. And then you have to find something that's signature to you. And that's not hard to do. Yesterday I had Rochelle on, and she had the Run On Magic Mom. If you look at her live yesterday in her video, she's got like this Run On Magic, very cool sign in the back. She bought it off of Amazon, but it's like hot pink. It's like one of those hot pink fluorescent light things in a big green kind of bush that hangs on the wall.
Okay.
And it's a really cool kind of statement signature piece for her videos. Example for me, a signature would be sure the hat throw, but I've been in the same chair with the same back. I've been in 3 or 4 different offices, but I've always taken this wood with me everywhere I go. So it always looks like the same background. I've got the same hat on, same shirt on every day. And it creates a signature. It creates a brand. It creates something that people can recognize. And it's those kind of things are always a slow grow, but the customers are more dedicated. They're more, you know, they trust you more. They like you more. They feel more comfortable with you. And it doesn't have to be a where you're sitting or a background. What is your signature move? What is your signature? If you look at Allen Iverson, he had the crossover. You know, if you look at, you know, most people have it like a signature move that they do. And as, you know, as dads, we have signature moves too. Dumb stuff that we do, dumb stuff that we say, jokes that we tell over and over again. You know, if you look at kind of every part of your life, you've got a signature kind of thing that you do. You have to be memorable to your audience and give them, oh, this is the fill in the blank guy. That's the fill in the blank guy, right? Yes, Stephanie, discover your signature move. Because if you can evolve that, but it's not that you have to be married to it, but find something that's signature to you. Yeah, Michael Jordan with his tongue out. Great, Rita. Also, Michael Jordan with the the dunks that he did.
Oh yeah.
The dunk that he did from the foul line where that ended up being his logo. But yeah, the tongue out, man, that's better because he always did that, right? He did it every time he drove to the hole. So it's like, what is your signature move that you can do? It can be, it should be something that's makes you a little uncomfortable when you start doing it too, right?
That's my next hump. That's the next up. Goes with the talking and stuff like that. So baby stepping that. But the only things I can think of is just, I know I was thinking of a tag like let's grow. And another one that helps too is another phrase that I kind of spread through my captions is it's a verse. It's a long one, but I shorten it. I call it the spirit's willing. I always tell my kids that. I always tell my buddy I work out with that. It's a story about, and I'm not going to go into long here sermon or whatnot, but when Jesus when he was in the Garden of Gethsemane, he asked his 3 disciples, the ones closest to him, like, hey, I need you to stay up and pray with me tonight. He's about ready to get thrown across. I mean, wouldn't you want your buddies to hang out with you? And
You're right.
And what ends up happening is they fell asleep. And he's like, you can't stay up all night? What the heck? And that's when he says that. He goes, the spirit is always willing and the flesh is weak. And so I always take that as in how much, and it's to that, I had a post on it. When we think we're done, we're only like 40% done. We got like 60% left to do or to keep pushing. And you can use that in the workout phase. Like if you think, oh, we can do 10, like technically you can probably do 50. You're here stopping yourself. And so with having the Holy Spirit, just knowing that he's there, if you believe in that, can get you further. Yeah. And just hang on to that and you can get further in that. And then, and when you sit with my knee, trying to find my, unique quirkiness to stand out, that's another hump. And eventually, once you get over that hump, you're going to get into like almost like a comfort zone. Yeah. And then you're going to feel it. You're like, something's up. I got to do something now to experiment, to get me uncomfortable again, to either learn from, and maybe that didn't work, or grow from, and maybe this will expand it further. So it's always like a step process of, uncomfortable. And then when you get in that groove, okay, what's the next thing? I think it was it's like one, it's called like one level, then another level. Yeah. To face.
Yeah, man. Oh, for sure. It's a great point. I'm glad we hopefully it got some juices flowing in some of you all's brains a little bit this morning about, just what, how to find a unique message, how to stand out, how to come up with a signature move, where to find inspiration outside of, where everybody else is looking. Yeah, I mean, you're right. There's a devil in another level. I like that. There's always going to be something that's going to be a challenge that look forward to that instead of and expect it, right? It's always one great way to win war is to know that the enemy is there. Right. Instead of always being surprised and like, I can't believe this is hard again. I thought I overcame that. It's like, you knew that you knew.
Yep.
It's another level. It's another devil, baby. You know it's there. Bring it on. Come on. Where you at? You know, where you at? Come out. You know, I'm here. I'm ready. And instead of like, oh my God, I can't, but this is hard. I just got over my last level. It's like, no, you know, expect it.
Yeah, and that devil's always going to remind you of your past, but you know what? You can just say, well, hey, I know your future.
Yeah.
We all know what happens to him.
You know
what is going to happen. So
and you
that's one thing you can always say, you know, hey, you may be trying to stop me from, you know, my doubts and whatnot, but what's going to end up to you ain't going to be so good. So I'm going to keep going.
Right.
You know, I got the Holy Spirit guiding my way. So
right. And that always wins. You always win. Absolutely. In the literal spiritual sense, there was victory there as well. And, you know, it makes it a lot more fun when you, are not so surprised by the challenges. Instead, when you invite them and you look at them as, this is my opportunity to be able to grow. Let's grow, right?
Yep, let's grow.
Yeah. What have you learned about yourself, brother, through this journey?
Well, I mean, it's weird. I'm going to be turning 40 in July. And I've done a lot of the things I felt, and I know, and I'm not going to go in depths in a way, but like just the way the kind of culture goes with how you should live life. Well, I'm a creative guy. I'm an artist, and that didn't get talked about a lot. And like, oh, you can't make a living doing that. And just where we live in now in this platform of social media and digital marketing, it's just incredible. And that's the one thing I want to tip on Legendary Marketing, is just how you guys laid it out to make it an actual business. Like, that's so like comforting to like learn that as you do it. So now when you're doing the things that express you and the things that you love to do, now you have the business all up in place just in case something happens. Like, I've heard a story of we connected with one guy who was a photographer, and you know, he loved photography, but he didn't know the business details about it. I think what happened was he didn't have an LLC, and when it came to tax time, he had to like owe so much money because he didn't have that. But now with your program, people are all set up with that. And now when you do it and you do something, and heck, there could be a moment where you do get that one post that's just going to explode, and you may have, unfortunately, people trying to come in after you. But with this program, you're all set up. If you just do like a little tedious stuff in the beginning and just fly on with it, learn and grow, pivot, what didn't work, you know, what's working, and just keep going with that.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, we have, and it is hard to trust. I get that. It is hard to trust people, and it's hard to trust that there's that a company or a program or a group of people have your actual best interest in mind. But you know, we really have the bare bones essentials of what somebody needs in order to launch an online business here. You're right. Setting people up with LL, or at least hooking them up with those connections. And certainly you could go out and do that on your own. That's fine. We just happen to have a company that we affiliate for, and they do a great job, and they help out, and they've got lots of good resources and lots of great support. And you gave a great example of the alternative of going into business and saying, well, I'll do that later. Well, you know, no, you don't. I mean, that's not how business works. There's a certain element of risk that you have to take up front. And that risk is getting properly set up and getting your business and your bank account and just the bare bones basics of running a business. It's not like you have to go. And that's the beautiful thing that we try to remind people of and try to help people avoid. If you don't know what you're going to do, don't go take out a $50,000 school loan. Don't go take out a $50,000, $100,000 bank loan and start some business that you're not 100% sure is going to turn a profit and you're going to be able to pay that back. Learn some skills for a few hundred or few thousand. that you can start with low to no cost online, develop your confidence, do it from anywhere, and get your entrepreneurial kind of itch scratched and sharpen your sword, and then either run with that, or if you are going to go into another business at some point, you'll have some dadgum experience of being a business owner, because most people coming from employment to entrepreneurship, it's a bigger jump than what you think it is.
It is. When I shifted from retail, being an employee, going into sales salary, that was a shift, because I'm always asking so I work right now with my friend who runs the business. I'm always asking, what do you need me to do? What do you need me to do? It's like, you're funny. Like, you know what you need to do? You can relax a little bit, just go meet people, go talk to them. And, but it was a crazy shift because you're so used to that. And so anyone that's maybe in that bucket and wants to dive into this, just know, like, there's going to be some growing pains, but you just keep on at it. Like, you'll develop and grow over it, and it'll just keep growing and growing, because like we said, every level there's another devil. And maybe I just recently heard this phrase by John C. Maxwell. He was talking about, go find a tree and hack at it 5 times a day, not 10, not 500, 5. And then it made me think of this too, to add to it. And when you go hack at it every day, 5 times a day, you have to sharpen that axe. I think there's even a great quote by Abe Lincoln where, you sharpen it more than you actually hit the tree, because it's being tailored to, and every time you do it, it's going to come to a nice clean cut. Eventually that tree is going to fall. And that goes with the consistency, and just keep posting, like, keep learning, keep growing, keep sharpening your blade, and that tree will fall. And now it's like, oh, but the tree, you killed the tree and it fell. Like, well, you're building up so much wisdom, you're building so much experience, and you're potentially during that time gaining more followers. It's going to pour over, and you're going to be covered in blessings from there, and then just keep on growing from there. So I thought that was really cool.
Really cool, brother. Love it. Lots of you're full of little nuggets and quotes and wisdom, man. Love it. You're really perfectly positioned right now to have a great breakthrough. Turning 40, that's a cool thing. I did that last year. It really does change your perspective, and you're officially an adult now. You're not in your 30s anymore. And just you're with 3 kids, a wonderful family, and just this hunger and this spirituality and this perspective that you have, man. I'm really excited to see, where you go the rest of this year, and then 2025 hit your stride. This is a real laying the foundation for you, year. It's planting seeds, and that harvest will come, and it's going to be bountiful, brother. It's going to be abundant, and I'm here for it. So thanks for coming on this morning, man. I appreciate it. Love it. And come back and see me. Okay.
Oh, for sure. Thank you. And for all you guys do, it's been great. And I look forward to the success that we both will have.
Sounds good, Jimmy. All right, my brother. Take care, man.
All right. You too.
All right, my friends, you can find Jimmy K over at Kastlerok. That's spelled, and that's on Instagram. Kastlerok. Okay. K at the beginning, K at the end. It's Castle, but with a K. Kastlerok. Kastlerok. My friends, what a beautiful, powerful message this morning. Beautiful message for a Friday. Legendary message for a Friday. Had me throwing my hat 30 seconds into the episode, just getting it done. Like that guy. My friends, it's a beautiful time to start over on your mission, on your journey, in your business. And I'm here for it. I can't wait to see all of you continue to hit your stride for the first time, and feel what that feels like to begin accomplishing and making moves in your own business, building confidence, building self-esteem, showing and proving to yourself what you're capable of. My suspicion is most of you don't even know how powerful you are, right? But I want to remind you that you have everything inside of you already that you need to be successful, with some support, or as Jimmy would probably say, a little bit of God, right? or a lot. You got it, man. You just got to believe. You got to have faith, but faith without works is obviously dead. So you got to put some footwork behind your belief. And that's both with God, but it's also with your business, right? And this is also not a sermon. These are practical tips, right? These are practical tips. In some odd way, these kind of blend together, right? Is it odd? Is it God? We'll leave that up for you to decide. But my friends, it really is a unique opportunity to serve you and your family, but also others with your message, your knowledge, your talents, your work ethic. Put in the work to be able to experience the benefits and the self-esteem and the confidence and the gifts that come from it. You'll be proud of yourself and it'll be worth it. And we'll see you back here on Monday for another episode, my friends of Wake Up Legendary. Thank you to Jimmy again for a great episode. And my friends, have a great Friday. Have a great weekend. We'll see you back here on Monday. Get out of here.